Okay, so before we start this, I gotta ask, would you be interested in an Itachi manga one-shot written by Masashi Kishimoto? Because in this latest interview released from Masashi Kishimoto, the creator of Naruto, and Ikamoto, the artist of Boruto, they addressed some more big things regarding both franchises, but in particular, a lot of people are buzzing about what Masashi Kishimoto said about wanting to do more one-shots from the world of Naruto, but also there's some big stuff about Boruto in there as well regarding how Kawaki was an essential piece in getting the Boruto manga started. Because for starters, one of the things that was addressed is apparently Mikio Ikamoto's favorite character to draw is Boruto. I'm not surprised by that at all. Boruto is the coolest looking dude in the Boruto 2 Blue Vortex manga, from the swag to how his powers look when he uses the Rasengan, the Uzuhiko, the Flying Raijin, the drip, everything about it, bro. He just is freaking awesome. So I'm not shocked that Ikamoto's favorite character to draw is the most coolest character in 2 Blue Vortex. I mean, obviously when Sasuke comes back, you already know Sasuke's that dude, but Boruto, yeah, he got the drip, and on top of that, he's freaking awesome. Then Kishimoto said, I've had a passion for Godzilla since I was in elementary school. My dream was to one day draw kaiju, so I had to include some in my story, of course via the tailed beast. He said, I like Godzilla, I like Mothra, that's interesting, it looks like Madara, hey. I like King Ghidorah, and I even like Rodon. And Naruto, that inspired me for the tailed beast. Yeah, like I said, pretty much Kishimoto utilized the tailed beast to kind of create something that he's always wanted to do, and on top of that, the tailed beast is freaking awesome. I wish we would get more of them in Boruto. I'm just saying, Kishimoto, you love them kaiju, right? Put some of that type of stuff in Boruto. Come on, you know, you still hold the reins, big dog. We actually do have in the form of what's happening with Himawari, but that's a whole different ballgame. Kurama's not a giant kaiju like he was in Naruto. Then Ikamoto said, it's true that we both like video games. I'm on The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom at the moment. I'm interested in fashion, and otherwise I play with my cats. I also have a tradition. I go to Disneyland every month. I think that's dope that he made sure that every month he actually gets a break from his stuff and goes and does something that he likes to do outside of drawing manga. The fact that he takes some time out for himself is dope. The fashion thing, he's said it many different times that he's a massive connoisseur of fashion, and it reflects when you look at, again, a character like the favorite Boruto that he loves to draw, how awesome he looks. And the fact that he plays video games, I like that Ikamoto, it looks like he really has a nice balance of, he likes to play video games, he likes to, you know, dabble in the world of fashion, play with his cats, and catch a break every month and go do something else. That's awesome. I wish more manga authors had that opportunity to just have a better balanced life and catch breaks from time to time, because yeah, it's a tough job. Then this one was a pretty big one. Ikamoto said, in Naruto, the origins of Otsutsuki were not explained, which a lot of fans have always criticized the ending of Naruto, of how when, you know, Kaguya came to be and all of those elements, that there wasn't the strongest of foreshadowing. So for Ikamoto to actually say that is kind of I guess gonna be something for the fandom to dive into and debate about. But for me, they were aliens from the beginning. After the Great Shinobi Wars, we pushed the limits of the universe to find new antagonists. We did tests with other human characters, but the results was not convincing. And I'm going to bet my money on he's referring to earlier on in Boruto, where you had the Mujina bandits, and then you also had Ao, which I'm not gonna lie, that was some of the stuff, especially the Ao stuff. Mujina bandits, it was still a little bit, because they had the whole card game, and it was Boruto trying to save that kid or whatnot. It was a little bit dicey. Once we got to the Ao stuff and started diving into Kara, that's when it started to be like, okay, this is getting serious. I remember Ao was probably the point where I started actually really rocking heavy with the Boruto manga and was like, nah, this is something that I gotta freaking stay on top of every month. I'm having a blast with this one. So I wouldn't say that it wasn't necessarily convincing. The only aspect of that that was problematic was the fact that a guy like Ao, even with the powered up ninja tech and whatnot, it still felt like at any given moment, if Naruto and Sasuke, the gods of shinobi, showed up, they could shut it down. They could easily take him out if they wanted to. So that was where the problematic aspects were. But at the same time, if we would have just rearranged certain things, like let's just say we got to 2 Two Blue Vortex and had those type of villains introduced and Boruto wasn't as beastly as he was now, I think it could have worked. But overall, at the same time, I'm not gonna say that they made a mistake with changing direction and going more towards these powerful beings, because at the end of the day, it just raised the stakes and made things more epic, and Two Blue Vortex wouldn't be as awesome as it is right now if we would have just stuck to people like the Mujina Bandits and Ao and kind of just regular people. But that's fascinating to know what Ikamoto thinks about the Otsutsuki and Naruto, and also at the same time why they started to kind of veer closer towards the Otsutsuki and these alien creatures, opposed to how Boruto kind of initially started, minus the Boruto Naruto the movie stuff. Then this one was a really big one. Ikamoto said, "We first had the idea of Kawaki, Boruto's adopted brother." So Kawaki was essentially one of the pivotal aspects of getting the Boruto manga started. Today their bonds have changed and their situation has reversed. Boruto is an easier character to move the story forward. Kawaki has really become his driving force. That's the goal that Boruto has set in mind, and I think what he's trying to say here is the fact that initially you couldn't really move the story with Boruto too much, because again, Boruto was kind of a very childlike character, and if you're going to raise the stakes and you're going to make serious credible threats, how do you move things forward with Boruto the way he was pre-time skip? You add in the elements of everything that went down with Kawaki and him, and that's why now in Two Blue Vortex, when Boruto moves, it's like, oh snap. While pre-time skip, oftentimes admittedly, Kawaki was one of the pivotal factors of getting things moving, getting the story going, whether it be Jigen and the Outers and everything of what happened with Kara, how they were hunting him down, the vessel this and all of that. Kawaki was moving things along, and he did light a fire for the story. But now in Two Blue Vortex, all it takes is Boruto, but that's because you had something of an opposition like Kawaki introduced into the story. So it's fascinating how Kawaki helped to make Boruto one of these factors, just because of all of the messed up stuff that he did and all of the adversity that he threw at him. It made Boruto become the GOAT that he is now. This one right here, people, about Minato's one-shot. Kishimoto said, "Yes, I would like to do others, but I'm taking the time to think about it. In fact, I based myself on a ranking of characters made among readers." You remember back, I want to say it was end of 2022-ish, when they had that whole vote for the characters and Minato won, and that's why we got that really awesome Minato one-shot. Minato was the first. The second is Itachi. I say it half jokingly, but you never know, which more than likely means that if he was ever interested in doing another one-shot, which he's saying he's half jokingly, so he probably kind of wants to do another one-shot, he will probably do it with Itachi, and that would be so fire. Like, imagine a little mini Naruto anthology series of just like getting them animated at some given point. I mean, Minato one-shot animated and Itachi one-shot animated. While admittedly Itachi did have a lot of stuff back in the day that they released. I mean, they even did that one OVA that was included in, was it Naruto Generations? It was one of the Storm games where you had like Sasuke and Itachi and they were like cooking eggs together and stuff like that. So you had a lot of Itachi stuff back in the day, but it's been a long time. Itachi was an incredible character, and we also know historically Kishimoto is a massive fan of his Uchiha clan. Every time he does something with the Uchiha, they're awesome. I think that kind of rubbed off on Ikamoto a bit, and that's probably why Boruto is so Uchiha-esque, Sasuke-esque. It gives him that flair when you rocking with the Uchiha, you dig? And in Itachi one shot, come on, we would all love that. I don't know exactly what Kishimoto would do. Would it be pre the Uchiha massacre situation? Would it be at some given point while he's walking with Kisame? I don't know, but I'd love to read it, and I would love more. A Jiraiya one shot, you know, there's just so many endless possibilities. And again, an anthology series, that could be a whole couple of volumes, that could be an anime. There's so much that they could do with it, but at the very least, it's really dope to know that Kishimoto hasn't written it out the question like, I'm never drawing any more Naruto again. He is still passionate about it, and Itachi probably would be the next one unless Shueisha came in and said, aha, but we want something else, which you never know, but that would be awesome. Then Masashi Kishimoto and Ikamoto gave their top 3 manga of all time. At number 1, both of them came with Dragon Ball. For Kishimoto, that was 110% not a surprise at all. I mean, Kishimoto has always openly talked about how much he loved Dragon Ball, how Goku and Vegeta kind of inspired Naruto and Sasuke. The man had a giant Frieza statue in his office and whatnot. I knew he loved Dragon Ball for a very long time. Ikamoto, that's pretty cool to find out. That's really dope. I love just their camaraderie, their friendship, everything about how they rock. It's really dope. But then that's where, you know, the similarities start to break apart, and Ikamoto's second pick was JoJo's Bizarre Bizarre Adventure, and Kishimoto's second pick was Akira. Again, I've known that he loved Akira for a long time. He's talked about it many times. It's a classic. The movie was awesome. The manga I've heard is great. I never checked it out. It's a pretty lengthy one. Some given point I am going to. And JoJo's Bizarre Adventure is phenomenal. Took me a bit to finish part 6's anime, but I finally did, so I'm all caught up with the JoJo's anime. And Ikamoto and Kishimoto, those are already some great picks. But then the third ones, yet again, like, I ain't gonna lie, all of their picks were pretty freaking epic. Ikamoto picked Parasite, aka Parasite the Maxim. I love that anime, the way it was done, the music, the art and animation, story, just Shinichi's growth as a character. Great pick from Ikamoto. And Blade of the Immortal, I never finished that one, but I read like 3 or 4 volumes of the manga, and I remember Manji was just so epic, and the story was crazy. And that's another incredible, like, these are some amazing top manga picks, no questions asked. So shout out to both for their taste. And again, if it helps to inspire the world to manga, by all means, keep reading more greatness. Apparently, Mikio Ikamoto's all-time favorite manga character is Joseph Joestar. Yo, this man got taste for days, bro. Part 2 of JoJo's has always been one of my favorite parts of JoJo's. Joseph has always been incredible from all the joking. You know, they brought him back a couple of different times in the anime. So Mikio Ikamoto's favorite manga character being Joseph Joestar. Again, this is why the Boruto 2 Blue Vortex manga is so freaking epic. We got a lot of great influence on the series. And then lastly, this wasn't necessarily from the interview, but a Boruto database recently dropped a bombshell that I think a lot of fans and especially naysayers should hear about Kurama and the Tailed Beast, because a lot of people have been talking a lot of different things regarding Kurama, and as far as why is he back in the Boruto story after what happened with the Bariyamo situation and he passed. People are very upset. A lot of people forgot the lore of Naruto, but this database explains exactly what's happening to a degree, while also saying, yeah, more to come. Because it says, however, the death of the tailed beast is not eternal, and it is believed that it will inevitably resurrect somewhere over time. That's been stated many times in Naruto. Originally, the period of time required for resurrection was said to be several hundred to several thousand years. So that's a part right there makes it a little bit muddy, right? Like, okay, they're supposed to be resurrected, but it's supposed to take hundreds or thousands of years for them to come back. However, the nine-tailed beast has now returned to life inside Himawari at an unusually early date. So this is an anomaly type of situation, surprising even Kurama himself. So even Kurama surprised. There are several possible reasons for this, but we do not know the exact reason at this time, which just means let them cook. The lore always said that they were supposed to come back, so the only problem is that it was supposed to take a lot longer. Why did it happen sooner? I mean, that's Naruto's daughter. He has Kurama's chakra in him. It doesn't seem far-fetched at all. I wouldn't be surprised if at some given point, maybe down the road, similar to how Naruto and Minato had the Kyuubi chakra together, maybe Boruto will also have a bit of Kurama's chakra, and it'll be like a yin and yang situation, and him and his sister could combine to work together to take down a threat. That just sounds epic and exciting, and we just need to find out why this happened a lot sooner, which again, probably because the chakra was already there and it just needed to grow back from that particular point. Maybe if it wasn't that these kids had this chakra within them, it probably would have taken thousands of years for the chakra to resurge and all that stuff, but since it's right there, Kurama came back. But yeah, people, that's the information that we got from this piece of the interview. Let me know what you guys think. Would you read an Itachi manga right now? How do you feel about Ikamoto and Kishimoto's favorite manga? And what do you think about Kawaki's part in helping to inspire Boruto's story? Because initially that was one of the things that they came up with, Boruto having an adopted brother, Kawaki. That's all I have for this one. Thanks for watching. I'm Tim, and as always, people, have an awesome day. Subscribe and hit that bell to get more. Thank you so much.
But in the end, it always ends with the end. So let's not pretend we can always start anew. We can do it again.